All right, we are here. Thanks for joining us again, folks, for another AM Dynasty production. Yes, so glad to be back. We are here with the lovely Sheena. Say hi to
Hey,
the
hey,
people.
hey.
How's
How
everybody
y'all
doing out
doing
there?
today?
All right, guys. So we're back with another podcast, a real brief one, but we wanted to talk real quick, have a brief discussion with Sheena over a couple of things. Today's topic, and by the way, thanks for joining us on YouTube, AM Dynasty, the podcast. Thanks for joining us on the audio platforms right now, several audio streaming platforms. And we're going to have a real quick discussion. Not sure what we're going to call it, but we're going to be pretty much discussing the Juneteenth weekend we just had, Juneteenth celebration we had last weekend. We want to talk a little bit about the Juneteenth celebrations that happened last weekend, as well as business and supporting Black businesses. Want to know what you guys out there think. So, Sheena, last weekend, hope you had a good Juneteenth weekend or Juneteenth summer so far going on. Uh, and so, both of us are business owners, entrepreneurs, striving, getting our things together. And I guess you're on a business trip right now, taking care of your business.
Yeah, you see my
Exactly.
new
See the
office?
background. But before we get into that, real quick. So I went to here in the Bay Area. Of course, there was Juneteenth celebrations going on all over the place. I happened to go to a Juneteenth celebration in Hayward, which is right on the outskirts of Oakland. The celebration was really good. I was talking to another business owner. We actually did another podcast talking about it with another business owner friend of mine, and we were just saying how it felt so good to actually be at the celebration. Kind of everybody out there not being so masked up as people have been over the years, and just the fact of being around so many Black people, just loving on each other, enjoying each other, families around enjoying each other. And I was able to spend money with other Black businesses and share information, knowledge. It was a real good time. Did you do anything this Juneteenth as far as get out here and celebrations, or just work, take care of business this year? What'd
Actually,
you do?
this year I didn't get out this year, and I'm glad I didn't because it would have been, of course, in Oakland at the dog, at the lake. So,
Yes,
and of
exactly.
course, I don't know if you guys already heard, but it went down. It was nice until it wasn't. You know,
Yeah,
people just shooting out literally in the doggone crowd. Like no bullets have names. I mean, you're almost to the point to where you don't even want to go nowhere or take your babies nowhere. It's scary.
exactly. Exactly. For those of you who don't know out there, wherever you're listening or viewing us from, in Oakland, the Juneteenth celebration this year went really bad, which was a
It was
doggone
bad.
shame. Um, for some
Yeah,
reason,
15 people
somehow,
were killed. 15 people was murdered. A
15
lot
people
of
were murdered.
people, yeah,
I
and
didn't
a
know
lot
that
of
many.
people were injured, trampled on, and all kind of things like that. Just right there at Lake Merritt. It just, you go to the lake to have a good time. It was hot as I don't know what, so it was perfect. Perfect
Yeah.
conditions and perfect for attitude, I guess, because it was
Wow.
horrible. And I'm
Not
really
good.
glad I didn't go. And it was a trip because I just had this conversation with my older kids. They're older. So, they usually go every year. They went last year. The same thing happened after they left. And it's just ridiculous. When can we come? When are we going to get to the point, or if we ever going to get to the point to where we don't have to worry about that no more? We just got out of the mask just to be outside.
That's pretty pathetic. And, you don't hear about stuff like this during Cinco de Mayo. You don't hear about stuff like this during what is it? The
Pride.
day, the day with the Irish holiday. Where
Oh
they
yeah,
go out.
St. Patty's.
You don't hear about nothing like this on St. Patrick's Day. You know what I mean? So I just think it's
And
real
they
cool
drinking
that
on St. Patrick's Day.
they drinking everything. The fact that we
They
have to have this
drinking.
on a Juneteenth, and and it has to happen in Oakland of all places. It's just bad. It's just bad. I really don't like it. I really hate the stigma and the vibes that surround that, and it just kind of fits
Right.
into a narrative of stereotypes that certain powers that be have of us. So it's just really all the way. It's bad all the way around. Talking to the people out here about it, everybody just SMH situation. Everybody shaking their heads, and it's just uncalled for, ridiculous. Like you
It
said.
really is. I'm like, yo, cool. I got called for us to really put our big girl pennies on and our big boy draws on. And
Seriously.
actually be adults. You know what I mean? And let's show how we supposed to live. And let's be prime examples of what we supposed to be doing because we're not supposed to be out here doing this.
No,
Period.
I agree 100%. It's pretty
It,
sad. It's pathetic.
it don't make any sense at
No.
all.
And why would you want to do that on a day and a time that's designated for us, presumably by us, definitely for us? It's supposed to be unity. It's a chance to
Celebrating being
unify.
unshackled.
Yeah, exactly. It's a get your hand out my pocket situation every time. So it's just like I don't really understand that. It's just ridiculous. Words can't explain it. But we got to really get away from this type of foolishness. Right now, in one of my businesses, I was just telling a guy this week as we were talking about that event that it's shocking. In my business, I see that in this country, black people are not doing as bad off as the media portrays.
No,
In
no.
one of my businesses, we can't get too many black now. We don't pay the highest of wages, but it's definitely above minimum wage. But we can't get too many black people. We have a lot of other people that come in from the country who want to work and they really want to work hard. But it just kind of lets me know, wait a minute. So we're not doing as bad off as the media portrays. People are like, man, you can keep that little bit of money. I'm doing this over here. So that's
Right.
kind of was a good feeling. So we're actually getting somewhere. I see a lot of in the space that you and I are in. We see a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs, and they really got people are really doing things just like yourself, which is very inspirational. So to see an event like this that's supposed to be let your hair down, hang up, support some black businesses, and if anything, just enjoy being around each other, a chance to kind of be a collective in unity. That was pretty pathetic out here. So, but anyway, putting that down to the
I
side,
have to
enough about
agree.
the negativity. Tell the people a little bit about your business, what you got going on as a business
Ooh.
owner and entrepreneur.
Actually, as a woman, I have a couple of different businesses going on. I actually run a trucking company called IT and Auto Transport, and I transport vehicles. I'm in one of them now.
Wow, I heard that. That's big.
Another one that I've been getting off the floor now is actually Queendom Inc. Actually, that's a clothing brand. Is getting off the floor.
What's it called?
Um, Queendom Inc. with a K,
Okay.
KWEENDOMINK. The ink is because
Okay.
I am an ink lady. I will ink
Absolutely.
everything
Absolutely. Oh, I like it. I like it.
on down
Love it.
to the decals on this truck. So I have a lot going on. And I do also have a Etsy where you actually can pick up T-shirts and things like that as well. QueendomInc.com actually is a outlet store. You can get
Okay.
anything from clothes, jewelry, dog supplies. Well, pet supplies, should I say, not just dogs, cats as well.
Okay.
Um, Shoot, you can get a game chair if we need a game chair for the office. So everything on the website.
Oh, really? Okay. Nice.
QueendomInc.com and QueendomInc.etsy.com.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
And so
Nice.
it's
Okay.
coming along. So that's just two. And
Good.
then I also have a nail shop about to open here pretty soon too.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
So
Okay.
that'll
Okay.
be opening as well. So I am a busy person. I know it don't kind of look like it because I'm
Actually,
kind
do
of
look like
laid
it.
up.
Look like you running business right
But
now, running up and down the
but
state.
because I cannot be outside, I have to do these kind of things. So and
I like it.
I'm
No,
just
I
trying to
like it.
help, all of us together as a collective so that we can kind of be in business and not have to work for anyone else. Because our goal is to have our kids up and coming, have businesses to be able to hop into,
Right.
versus them not knowing what direction and different things like that. Not saying air trucking is for everyone because it's not. You know what I mean? But it's other things out there that you can do. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Absolutely.
Medical. I mean, you just got to have the resources. And
Right.
I'm game. I'll put all the resources out here. The free
No.
information, the grants, student loan forgivenesses, and all kind of things. So
Absolutely.
I'm for it.
Absolutely. No, no, I love it. I love it. I think
I'm for our community getting better than what we are. I know that we have to do
no.
better.
Well, that's why I appreciate you for being on. And pretty much, I'm a big advocate for, when I was growing up, even though, and I was definitely been an entrepreneur since day one, back then, in our time, they gave us other illegitimate entrepreneurial tasks so we wouldn't learn how to legitimize ourselves with legitimate
Right.
businesses. So being in business has always been in my blood. And I know from my parents, they always said, look, just get your high school diploma and get a job.
Get
You'll make
job.
them promise if you
That's
just
all
get
you
it.
knew. Get a job.
Well, that's it. That's all I knew. And I mean, well, that's what was being that jacket. That jacket never fit me, but it was always getting trying to get put on me. And the thing is that it never fit. It never really fit. And so I know what it's like to it's kind of like to kill young people's dreams. I'm so against that nowadays. I'm turned out. I'll never think that way again. And even my own family right now, I have, yeah, go ahead.
I completely agree with you
Yeah,
because
yeah,
when it comes to okay, we got to get out and get a job. How do we get that job?
right, right. And even
I
then,
mean,
you
I'm
have
just
to,
saying, there's so many obstacles, and things like that. It just makes it kind of difficult. You know what I mean? And I know for young black men, it's definitely difficult unless you're doing a labor job.
that's
And
exactly correct.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. And our kids, if you really think about it, the generation that's under us, are not looking to go to work. They don't want to work. They want to. They see Instagram, Facebook, and all the stuff, and then they want to sit up and just.
Right.
They see these 18-year-olds making all this thousands of dollars, and oh, that's what I'm gonna do. But you need a blueprint to be able to make those thousands of dollars, and you got to take the steps to do it. But if
No, I
everyone is
agree.
online, is just holding all the information to themselves, how they gonna get it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well,
That's
with a
from
job,
experience. I've learned that and this is just some experience that I've had. I'm not saying this, across the board, but they got all these programs and different things like that on Instagram, Facebook. You take all these little courses, pay for these courses, and you don't get anything out of it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to avoid that part while we're doing this podcast. You know what I mean? I want for our children, because they are our future.
yeah,
Literally, I know we don't say it anymore, but they are. They're supposed to be our future. We have to do better by it. Because our future sucks right now.
yeah. Well, it's a lot of us that have to learn. We got to learn, and we don't want the next generation to have to learn the hard way, like some of us had to do if they even learn at all. You know what I mean? Because they got a place for people that don't get it, and it's called jail. You be making somebody else some money, whether it be jail or whether. And to me, that's just the same as just having a job. A lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, the jobs you're underpaid, overworked, and it's a hard. It can be a
And
hard
they're
life.
very aware. They're very aware of that. Even
Yeah,
though we got a
absolutely.
$20 raise or what have you. But guess what else went up? Our food went up. Food
Yeah,
went up.
exactly.
So
Inflation,
it
everything.
was higher pay, but inflation goes up too. So what exactly? How are you helping us?
Exactly, exactly.
So when
Well,
the kids see that, it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do
absolutely,
that. I don't want to do this. I'd rather just work online and by this time next year, be 1,000 a year. Sort of stuff.
exactly. A thousand air. Well, I think the youngsters, though, especially from our generation, people do get it. No, they don't, and they're like, we were coming up. They didn't. Well, at least when I was coming up, they didn't have the internet wasn't going on like that. There was no internet,
No,
so the
it's so much
information. Yeah,
available.
yeah. Now it's so much information that's just out there. People know, like, look, I don't want to have to do all that for that. You know what I mean? I get there's a better way. But still. One thing about it, I don't care what kind of technology come up, business is business in any era, even during the days of the
There's a lot of
Pharaoh,
talent out there.
Egyptian days. Yeah,
A lot of talent.
yeah, exactly,
It's just got
exactly.
to be
So
discovered.
yeah, yeah. I mean, in basic business concepts, that's things that'll never change as far as So I'm an advocate for business. Another thing that I'm really an advocate on our podcast is in our platform is definitely exposing a lot of resources, where resources are to get your business popping. So I've been. It took me about 3 years before I got my first grant. I didn't get any grant funding during the beginning of the pandemic. We did get our first grant here a couple of years later. I always tell people to advocate to go online and look for, because I have families that's not in California. We're in California, so there's lots of resources here. Some of my family that's out of California, they say, we don't got that out here, cuz. And I'll tell them, look, man,
Right.
this is not a third world country. This is America. This is not what they call a third world country. There's always the SBA, Small Business Administration, that's in every state around the nation. There's always the SBDC, Small Business Development Center, where they have um, mentors. The mentors can tell you what you need to do. Funding. These are people that's been experts in whatever industry you've been in. They got a mentor for you, and also they'll show you where to get resources. There's classes. Um, there's nonprofit groups where you can go get funding. It's lots of resources out here where people can go and get funding. And I always tell people, I'm always an
So
advocate for groups.
how would our listeners actually be able to get that information? You have a link or something there?
Right. So the one thing I would tell people to do off jump, whether you have a business, whether you're trying to start a business, there's a few things I would tell our listeners and viewers. The first thing to do, I would say, connect with, go Google the SBA, Small Business Administration. If you're a business and you're not dealing with the SBA, or you're not on the email list to find out what they got going on, that would always be step number one. That's highly, highly, highly important. Number two, go connect with the SBDC, Small Business Development Center. You can go same online. It's either .gov or .org, because this is what your taxpayers' dollars is going to. So people start businesses, but they're not even going to get the resources that their taxpayer dollars went to. You know what I mean? And
Right.
this is an election year on top of that. So people are running around talking about elect me, elect me. I can get this much money for minority businesses, this much money for women-owned businesses, this much money. So it's like, hey, if they don't get the resources, vote for me. I put the money out there. You know what I mean? So
Right.
those are the first couple of steps. Another thing I would say is a lot of the classes I take, and I still take business classes, and now we're further along down the pipe. But I notice when I still take introductory business classes, one of the biggest things that they say is create a LinkedIn page, as you and I already have one. That's one of the biggest things, and I notice in the classes that I take, a lot of people, they're like, I don't even have a LinkedIn page yet, and I just say, wow. And I'm listening to the instructor that she's like, she are like, create a LinkedIn page. LinkedIn is like Facebook for business. It's Facebook for business. So I have so many different connections on there. So
Well, yeah, you see, I wasn't really familiar until you actually gave me the drop on the LinkedIn. I
well, at
want
least
to
you
know
had a page, and of course, you have such an extensive resume. As well as your page,
a
you have
piece
such
of
a great.
page.
Well, a lot of people don't even have the resume that you have, or don't even have to create a page. You know what I mean? So you already got big business going on. So it's not and which is, I guess you can be an example. The way that I take and my preference, or the way that I've gone about it, it's not the only way. Between
No.
you and me and anybody else, we're just speaking on what we know about. We're just speaking on ways that it's more than one way to go about getting paid legitimately, starting a company legitimately. It's more than one way. There is no one way. My philosophy is to tell me all the information, and I can make my decision a knowledgeable decision.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy. Yeah. So other than that, I'm a firm believer when I take all these classes that I still take classes,
No one is half
especially
the
during the
battle.
pandemic. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. My whole thing.
and to be honest with you, we're about to go back into it. We're about to go back into summertime now. COVID is trying to come back, with all the heat and all the things like that. We gotta be prepared for different things. And then, say for instance, we go through another shutdown. What we all gonna do?
Right.
We go through
Right.
another shutdown.
Exactly.
Literally, bills still gotta come. You
Right.
know, and just like last time, oh, we'll give you a pause, or but you still owe us money. So that's really, I mean, yes, it's a help, but don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking any kind of help. I'm just saying, but it don't get you out of the hole either. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Exactly.
they was trying to give out stimulus and things of that nature. $1,000 don't do a lot. You know what I mean?
No.
And then you got these senators and shit going out, spending up the fundings and shit on golf trips.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, let's
Exactly.
talk about the California Lotto. Let's talk about it. It's supposed to
Mm.
be for the kids, for schools. Why are the kids' schools still struggling?
Right.
Answer me that. I'm
Right.
just saying, I got a lot of doggone questions that ain't being answered.
Right. Right.
Where the money
Exactly.
going?
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. I mean, and that's why, resources, money, and resources is extremely important. To me, it's like, hey, do it yourself. That's
And
why
so,
it's like,
therefore,
yeah,
it also goes back to what we're saying on why, I'm not going to say why, but a lot of reasons that ones in our community, the minority, excuse me, I'm sorry about all the shaking, in our community that we're unable to really, really get ahead when we're always being short stacked. You
no,
know what
I
I
agree.
mean? If
I
a
agree.
child is supposed to say, okay, this is my run after high school, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is how I'm supposed to go. But then at every second the boy tries to go get a job over here or pick up something over here, he's being harassed, even noticing. Now, I'm not saying that just because of his skin color he should be harassed. No. If anything, it's a correct way and a correct way and a wrong way to do things, just like it's a right way and a wrong way to say some things. You know what I mean? And we are here as a people to help. Let's talk about Juneteenth again. Okay, just
Right.
like we're saying is why they so angry. Da, 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 da. It's not that they just so angry they broke shit.
Right.
They broke for number one. They pissed for
Right.
number two. Number three, they're not getting the adequate help that you actually need. You're trying to put a band-aid on some shit that actually needs something. Let's stitch
I
it up.
agree. No, I agree. It's
But you gotta address the problems to be able to try and stitch. What they're doing is trying to put a band-aid on something that the band-aid's gonna fall off later on and it's gonna be exposed all over again.
right. Absolutely. Well, it's taxation without representation. You know, these people are paying taxes. Even here in Oakland, I was just looking at somebody else post on TikTok or something, and I commented on the post about that event. And the thing there's always been a lack of resources. The educational department in Oakland has always been, since I was coming up,
Always.
very corrupt, very corrupt. There's not never there hasn't been as much after school programs here as it is in other affluent communities. They have other stuff to do.
Yeah.
That's why the sideshow got popping back in the day. You know what I mean? So there's a lack of education. There's a lack of representation for the tax dollars that's being spent here in certain communities. And so you got a situation that's kind of, and then on top of that, also you have a lot of communities that come here to do dirt. Whenever there's riots and things of that nature going on downtown Oakland, protests, you see people filling up the trains like it's an A's game, about a baseball game going on. They come from all the various cities to go downtown Oakland and go kick in the doors of Foot Locker or some of these little stores, and you're looking like, wait a minute.
And
And
then they
news,
out.
yeah, and the news reports it like in Oakland they did this, they did. Oakland is an acronym
Like,
for AIGER, because Oakland is only 22% black. It's only 22% black. So, but everything that goes down here that's of a negative is a stereotype of what white people are doing, even if it's not black people that's doing it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Oakland's always been entrenched in a lot of politics, a lot of
but one thing I do appreciate, the mayor of Oakland definitely has always been trying to put the best foot forward. So greatly appreciate that. The mayor has always been.
Well, right now the current. I don't know if you heard about the current mayor. The current mayor is under woo heavy scrutiny. The current mayor, they're trying to, I guess, recall her, and actually, not even a week ago, I guess the feds raided the mayor's home. I don't know if you heard about that, but I don't know
No, I
much
did not
about it.
hear about that.
I don't know much about it, but that's the current Oakland mayor. There's a lot of things here going on. Once again, Oakland's always been very just, a lot of politics, heavy politics going on here. So you just
Right.
I don't know. Once again, all these other things, I like to say basically, it's not necessary. It's almost like the parents that I got bad children. You got bad children, then it's probably your fault. However, in this
I don't
situation,
even say that children are bad. I just feel like they're
right,
misled. Period.
right.
I
That's
mean,
how I
either
feel.
okay, I'm gonna say even my own because I can even say that two of my kids are bad. Rather, shoot, all of them are bad kids. They're not bad kids. They're not even misled. It's just
Misrepresented.
part of it probably is mislead. Yeah, misrepresented. That's the word. Misrepresented. Or
Yeah.
misunderstood.
Misunderstood. Yeah, well,
Or
misrepresentation
misunderstood.
definitely leads to misunderstandings, and
Definitely.
that's kind of like my point. That's kind of like my point. So it's but you know what? I, we just wanted to address some things today, but I want to
Yeah,
definitely keep on a positive note on what can we do? What can we do about it? Now, you were telling me earlier about some of the I guess maybe philanthropic endeavors or some of the positive things that you're engaged with. Tell the people some things about that you do to try to give back and help and assist the community in a positive way. You were telling me
uh,
about was it you do so many different things. The what group was that you was telling me you were a part of earlier with was it Narcotics Anonymous or something like that?
narcotics and
I don't know. I forgot. You was telling me something. I know it's something that's
yeah.
positive that we
Okay. So
need.
what? So basically, what I'm doing is like I work with a company called BACNA.
Okay.
BACNA is the Bay Area Narcotics Anonymous. It's kind of a tongue tie for me.
Okay.
But what they do is they are a like a 12-step program, but it's not necessarily a program. You know what I mean? So it's not just for NA, it's not just for AA, it's for everybody who wants to get a little bit of help. Even if you want to come as a group to have conversation about different things you're going through and have other people, kind of have those same experiences and you have someone to talk with about it.
Support.
How do I
Support.
get through? How do I, do this part? You already been there. Can you walk me through the steps so I can overcome as well? And the books and different things that they offer is just simply amazing. And I definitely shoot you the information. It's not just, and they are based out of Oakland. They have other areas as well. They're all over. They usually have what is called an annual, where all the representatives come together all at one in one building. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they'll come from like Seattle, Washington. They'll come from Arizona. All the different parts of the different parts of the state. They all come together and show their accomplishments and the different people that's gotten clean or the different people that's gotten out of depression or just it ain't right though. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's
Yeah. I
just a
like it.
matter of also myself. You know what I mean? Uh,
All right. Sorry, guys. If you can't hear Sheena, she's on her way through the grapevine. Through the grapevine, headed from northern to southern California. So there is a little bit of static
no.
there. Can you hear me now? Sheena, you breaking up a little bit. Hold on for a second. We'll see if we can get her back in a minute. But yeah, so again, guys, I think it's important to on the Juneteenth and this time of the year, especially during it's an election year, and they're talking about reparations for Black people. I think it's important, guys, for us to see if we can set a good example, or for us to take a leadership role in trying to come together, not really allow outside influences or distractions to make events like this happen that shed such a negative light. Is Juneteenth was Juneteenth, and it was all across the country. Um, and it was an opportunity. I know the event that I went to that was right outside of Oakland. It was a great day, a great event. Of course, great California weather. I posted about it online. We networked with a lot of businesses, spent money with some businesses, and had a good time all day. So for an event to happen that happened here in Oakland is totally uncalled for. I will say I think we should just keep moving forward, not let this stop us, and still go try to do great positive things moving forward. You know, I think that now more than any other time, it's really important to start your businesses. As far as us to continue to start our businesses, I think Juneteenth is an opportunity to practice on a minor level, seeing how long we can keep the black dollar inside our community. Right now, we know that's just a matter of hours that the black dollar can stay in our community, but we got to start somewhere practicing that. So I think this Juneteenth and every Juneteenth is a chance to affirm and reaffirm that commitment to each other, to support each other, to pass on the legacy that we do have of establishing, doing good business and doing good business with each other, and showing the next generation how to set up, run, and maintain legitimate businesses, services offered for our community and for the greater community beyond. So we don't want one negative event. Like my dad always tells me, one monkey don't stop no show. We don't want to let one bad event kind of put a jacket on all of us and how we get along with each other. Because I had a great Juneteenth weekend, enjoying a bunch of people that look just like me from my community, and we did a lot of good business, shared a lot of good information, and I'll be continue to post about it as this week goes on, and didn't see nothing bad at all. Saw a bunch of good-looking families, and we were all sharing information and loving on each other, and nothing like that happened. Literally 20 minutes or so away from where this negative event happened. So if the mainstream media and portrays us in a certain type of light, that this is all we're about, this is all we do, obviously that's never the case, not at all the case. Matter of fact, we're doing more good than bad out there. So, yeah, just want to leave that as a message. So with that, we're going to get ready to wrap it up. Appreciate Sheena for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to Sheena's website and purchase some products with her. As you can see, she's an entrepreneur, have a lot of good businesses going on, as well as being involved in community efforts to assist people who are in recovery or trying to overcome depression and things of that nature. So definitely subscribe to her. She'll be back on our show with us. And with that, we just wanted to come on live real quick and have a real quick Dynasty live. So appreciate you for joining us on this weekday. We'll let you guys get back to work or play or whatever you're doing this summertime for this 8M Dynasty, the podcast. Thanks for joining us on YouTube, Patreon, and also all of our audio streaming platforms, including Fanbase. So with that, we will check you on the next one. And we are out. Thanks for joining us again, folks. And Dynasty, the podcast. Peace.